You can have all the money in the world. You can have all the girls in the world. You can have all the things that you think you need to become happy. You'll never be happy without God. That's just it. Understand that, in life, oftentimes, there's no diamonds without pressure. Sometimes the pressure helps you to become stronger.
Yeah.
Like the pressure is necessary for you to become the person who's going to handle tougher situations in the future.
You can never be happy for 12 months.
Yeah.
In no way. In no way. Even in a relationship, there'll be rainy days and rainbow days.
Yeah.
So what I can say is that never say you're going to be happy for 12 months or you want to be happy always.
It's rare for a woman to tell you straight up, like, say, I don't want you. And to tell you a reason, I don't want you because, let's say, you're ugly or you whatever. She'll just, let's say, stop texting you, hoping that you will see that she's not interested. She will start blue ticking you, hoping that you will see that she's not interested. That's her way of saying no. And if she sees it, like, say, even though she's doing those things and you're still persisting, that's when she friend zones you. A friend zone is a rejection, right? It's a rejection. And most people don't understand. What is your favorite rapper saying, right? That's the issue. If he's continuously rapping about ass, rapping about drugs, rapping about weed, smoking, all those things are going to influence how you live your life.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? Remy J. Kia. Welcome to the Everything Growth podcast. It's been a minute. I'm chilling here with my good friend. So we've been planning to do this for a while. So here we are. So we're going to get straight to it. If you want to know him, you'll just check out his Instagram. You'll check out his Facebook. And obviously, like say right now, you're in your mid-20s.
Yeah.
So what would you say is the most important thing right now in your life? Like in terms of like the areas of life, let's say relationships or money or whatever. Like what is your number one priority? And let's hear.
Look, man, the most important thing right now in my life is to build myself, and make money, brah. Our relationships can wait for now. There's some point now you feel like you're too broke to be in a relationship,
Yeah.
And like not saying relationships are about money or anything.
Yeah.
But then sometimes you have to think about it. But you have to work on yourself and find yourself when you're on your 20s.
Yeah.
And make money. That's what I do right now. Working on making money. I'm Joel and everything will come later, man. Yeah. Everything, it takes time,
Yeah.
Yeah, and in our generation, people are fucked up, especially when it comes to relationships and things. Money will never betray you.
Really?
Money.
Yeah.
Never find. So it's always money, relationship, and stay in touch with people that you love. Spending quality time with your family. That's the most important thing right now.
Yeah, I feel like I would say I kind of agree with you, but right now I'm in I'm on the fence, right? I mean, I'm more on the side of like getting myself to become the best version of myself, the best I can possibly be, and I'm also on the side of like prioritizing the most important things in my life. What I mean by this is that there's this story I had by one of the people that I follow, the people that I look up to, who's Luke Belma, right? He said there was like a story of a man who would fish, right? He would fish, and then after fishing, getting some food, he would go hang out with his friends, go, let's say, at the club or at the pub or whatever, and then they would drink, and then he would go home. Like, that was the life. He wakes up, goes, fishes, provides for his family, goes out to drink. Yeah. And then there's a guy from America. That guy was in Mexico or something. There's a guy in America. He came in and asked him, like, say, why don't you get a job? And the guy asked him for what? For money. For money to do what? To buy a house, to buy a car, and then he asked him for what? And then for how long would I do that? For like maybe 40 years or whatever, and retires. And he asked him, what would I do when I retire? And he told him that you would mostly spend your money, sit down, go fishing and chill with your friends. And he asked him, like, so what am I doing right now? I'm already doing the things that you would do when you retire, right? So there are things in our lives that are important, right? And oftentimes we neglect those things. And usually when we're chasing success, when we are chasing money and etc. etc. For example, let's say your relationship with your mom. When you're chasing money, you're not worried about that. Your relationship with your sisters, you're not worried about that. It's only when after getting money that you realize that, there's money. Yeah, I have money, I can buy anything, but I also need these things, right? So trying to balance those two is also important. But I also understand that in our lives, you can have everything at the same time, right? There are some times whereby you have to sacrifice. So as you're saying, you're in your mid-20s, right? This is a time whereby you need to build a foundation for your life. There's the area whereby you can't prioritize the rewards of kings, right? I usually call things like the relationships, like those are things that are enjoyed by people who already have a solid foundation of their lives, right? The moment you can have your money figured out, you can have a house, you can be comfortable. I'm not saying you must have a lot of money, but you must come to a point where even if you were to have a child right now, the child wouldn't suffer. Even if you were to get married right now, like your girl wouldn't suffer. Like the moment you can get to that state, then I would say that's good, right? So your early 20s are an age whereby you can prioritize that. Prioritize growing mentally, growing financially, spiritually, and in all those areas. The moment you feel like, yeah, you've arrived, I don't think you can ever arrive or get to a point where you say, I've done it, unless you're dead.
And another thing is like to find yourself,
Yeah.
Because I think we as when you're on your 20s or mid 20s or early 20s, some people lose themselves thinking about they're doing okay and they're not. But then if you find yourself and know what you want, what do you really like about yourself, about and everything,
I feel like that's something that I saw also. I'll keep referencing things that I see, things that I have, because I'm very aware, and I feel like it's a good way to remember things. But I saw these posts. I've been seeing these posts online. Let's say I've been on Facebook lately, and I've been seeing people posting about happiness. They say, I don't want to be hurt. I don't want pain. I don't want this. I just want happiness.
It's not such.
There's no such in life, right? There's no such in life, and
one thing when you talk about happiness, for the past 17 months, there was a phase where I was going through so much, and I started I felt like maybe God forgot about me or anything about. But now I could tell he shifted me from that position because I was too comfortable. To go through that period of one of our time. And then so you're gonna go through a time sometimes and have a nice time later, because you can never be happy for 12 months. In no way. Even in a relationship, there'll be rainy days and rainbow days, So what I can say is that never say you're gonna be happy for 12 months or you wanna be happy always. You can be happy, by doing other things, but then there will be some time where you need to sit down and feel, okay, now I'm tired, I need to rest, I'm sad, bruh, you need to accept, because nobody said life will be easy. No one said that.
There's that. I feel like you're speaking truth, brother. Our feelings or what we experience in life is pretty much like the weather. It's not the same every day.
Never.
Even if, let's say, the sun comes out and when you're expecting rain, you can cry the whole day like, say, when I was expecting rain. But your crying is not going to solve anything.
You're not going to change outfit. Wow.
So, understand that, in life, oftentimes, there's no diamonds without pressure. Sometimes the pressure helps you to become stronger. The pressure is necessary for you to become the person who's going to handle tougher situations in the future. Because right now, let's say your girl dumps you, you'll think, say, this is the worst thing in the world, I want to kill myself, whatever. But that prepares you, right, to become someone who's going to be stronger, someone who's going to improve and fix the mistakes that led to your girl cheating when you were breaking up with you, right? Because if you do not fix those things, you're not going to be ready for marriage, right? There are going to be things that you're going to still go into marriage like the same person that you are. And you're not going to be ready, bruh. Never. Right now, when you're going through the tough times, it's horrible, it's tough, bruh. You gotta...
Not tough times are always about relationships, It might be something personal.
There can be tough times with your finances. Let's say you go broke, flat broke. Let's say someone scams you. Let's say you have 100K in your account. Someone sent you 100K and you make an investment. Someone scams you all that money, and that money was supposed to go somewhere. That's stressful. Stressful. And then you wouldn't know who to ask, who to call, there are some days whereby, it doesn't always involve relationships. But the reason why I always mention relationships, because I feel like without human relationships, nothing can happen. Even business can without relationships, nothing can happen. Even business, you can't exist without relationships. There's a department that is dedicated to maintain HR, human resources. They need people. They need to make sure that the people who are working there are always good, or they're always doing their job. So otherwise, prioritizing what are we prioritizing ourselves and prioritizing our development when we're young is very important. And it's something that most people don't understand, right? doing the good things or doing the things that are done by the minority is like confusing to the majority. For example, there are many things that I do that people do not understand. Like if I say I'm reading, they'll be like, what? Books will make you crazy, wara, wara, wara. If you say you're exercising, they'll be like, what? Exercise is for this such and such people. If you tell them about health, they'll not understand. If you tell them about the Bible, they'll not understand. So I've realized that people hate the truth. Like if you tell people the truth, they'll hate you for it. Why do you think that is so?
Because everyone wanna justify the wrong things they're doing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, and it's becoming a norm now. Like everyone wanna justify the wrong things that they're doing just to fit in.
Yeah.
Just because you're doing the wrong thing and you don't wanna take responsibility, you're gonna be like, you're gonna change the name.
Yeah.
You're gonna change the name of it. If maybe your hand did an abortion.
Yeah.
Now they call it abortion. But you're mad, they were killing a person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you're gonna change the name and say it's abortion, And that's the thing. You try to justify everything and say and make it turn it into a good thing, which is wrong.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like some people hate losing, or they hate feeling like they are losers. Because, for example, let's say I give you a definition of what it means to be a millionaire. Like with me, usually when it comes to this millionaire thing, I usually tell people that I usually use the reserve currency when I look at like the millionaire thing. I use the dollars.
Yeah.
So to me, you have to be a millionaire in dollars for me to refer to you as a millionaire. Whereas if you are a millionaire in the third world currencies like your rands or whatever, like to be not yet a millionaire, you need like what, 20 million rands to become a millionaire.
Yeah.
In dollars. So to me, like someone, if you tell someone that truth, they'll be like, because it doesn't, they don't fit in with it. Exactly. Or also that there were times like in my past.
But you can't blame them. Sorry to cut you off. You can't blame them because your 6 is my 9.
Nah, not always.
Nah, bro.
Not always.
Check, ne? When as you're saying it right now, ne?
Yeah.
You see, you use currencies like you do dollars to be a millionaire.
The reason why I use dollars is because dollars is the reserve currency of the world.
Yeah.
So this is like our standard, or they're everything else, but what do people use to trade around the world? They use dollars. So if we're gonna make an example with money or with millions, we have to use the dollar, because everything else is inferior to it. So I feel like maybe that's not a perfect example, but another example was like of us trying to change the criteria. Sometimes we limit ourselves. There's somewhere where I read that the problem is not that we set big goals and fail to achieve them. The problem is that we underestimate ourselves. We set little goals or goals that are low. When we achieve them, we're not satisfied. And when we see people achieving big things, we complain and then we call them scammers, we call them criminals, or we call them whatever. So the problem is in our goal setting. So oftentimes, let's say how this applies to relationships, my favorite topic. You can use your different examples, but I'm going to use different examples in relationships. Let's say, for example, you see hands that are beautiful.
10.
You see 10s, you see 9s, and you tell yourself, I can't date these hands for whatever reasons, because let's say you have a fear of talking to them, and you tell yourself, say, I'm gonna date fat hands, and fat hands are my type right now. I don't want to date anything I don't see, right? Because that's you limiting yourself. Why? Because deep down say, oftentimes people that are, let's say, out of shape, or people that are oversized, like have most of them, not all of them, have like some low self-esteem, right?
Yeah, true.
They don't have a positive image of themselves, right? They don't have that confidence that people who are much leaner or much beautifuler or much gorgeous have, right? So it's easy for you to actually date them. Although I'm of the belief that you can date everyone, right? But for you to actually date anyone, you have to believe that you can date anyone, and most people don't.
Nah, man. Yeah, you need to believe.
Yeah, without believing, you can achieve anything, bro. Why do you think people limit themselves in that department of like dating specific categories and limiting themselves from other categories?
Because of society, Because of society, maybe the trends you're talking about.
Yeah.
What you see on social media are trends that always say into the must.
Yeah.
A guy must have a car. You don't have a car, so some guys limit themselves. Forgetting goods, but let's say maybe one more. There are girls who are 10s and they don't have that mentality of into the must. plenty of good women out there. If you can't find a good man, you're the problem. I'm telling you, my G. Plenty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's because of that. It's society that makes our gents to limit themselves.
Is it really society,
Yeah,
or is are women coming to realize their value? What I mean by this is that right now the world is connected, right, through the internet. Right now we have like things like what? Instagram, right? The moment, let's say a woman or but a woman who stays in a castle or a township or whatever, if she is beautiful, as you say, she's a tan, right? Without social media, doesn't really know or doesn't really get too much attention. She only gets attention from the people around her. But the moment she takes a snap of herself and posts it on social media, people around the world can see her and say, this girl is beautiful. Now she starts getting over 10K likes, 20K likes. The moment she gets that kind of attention, she realizes, nah, but 10 people actually want me or they want to date me, so I can't just prioritize these other guys. So although she might be beautiful, although she might be good, she's always going to prioritize people that are up there, right, compared to what she's getting, right? She's always going to prioritize the best of the best as compared to like the majority or like. So which goes back to the thing that we spoke about of like understanding the phase that you are, understanding the age that you are. If you're still young, let's say in your 20s or lower than that, it will be beneficial for you to prioritize what? Developing yourself. Because that's the age, that's a perfect age for developing yourself. That decade between like 20 and 30. For men, it's important for like developing yourself, getting your finances right, getting your house right, getting whatever right, getting your friendships right. That's the age where you can make a lot of mistakes and get yourself. Because the moment you develop yourself and you reach that level, then you have access to all the women that you think were not in your league. I don't really believe in leagues. Do you believe in leagues? Do you believe there's such a thing as like leagues where you can tell a woman that when you're not in my league, or a woman can tell you, you're not in my league, this is my league? And why do you think leagues exist? Or do you?
Nah, they don't.
Why do you say so?
Personally, I don't think they do, because the moment you start saying she's not on my league, you're judging yourself.
Yeah.
You're judging yourself. You're limiting yourself. You're going back to limiting.
You fail before you even start.
I'm telling you. So, if you see a hand, just go there and find out. There's only one way to find out, man.
It's by going there.
Yeah, and tell her by this what's happening. If she doesn't like you, it's okay. She doesn't like you. You're not gonna be like everyone. Né?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it is. That's how it is, man.
And this, what you're saying, is something that I also spoke about on like one of my blogs, whereby I proposed a theory, right? This theory was that if you go to, let's say, a busy area, let's say you go to a mall or you go to a university, and you stand at the gate or you stand at the door, and tell each and every beautiful woman that you see, you tell her, like, say, hey, you look beautiful and I want you to be the mother of my kids. Like, most of them are going to think you're crazy. But if your target every day is to speak to 80 women, some of them, let's say 13 or 12, will actually entertain you, right? If they are single or if they see that you look good or whatever. So the more people you speak to, the more you increase the odds of actually finding what you're looking for. So I'd say game, or whatever you want to call it, is like a game of probabilities, basically. Like whatever you want in life, whether it's money or anything, like let's say you want money, let's say you want someone to give you 100 rand. If you do the same thing, go to a door and you ask people, hey, you look beautiful, can you please give me money? Most people will think you're crazy. But if you talk to 100 people a day, like there will be, let's say, 1 or 2 or 3 people actually give you the money if they have the money. So I'd say it's really a game of probabilities, right? And the moment you view the situation this way, it helps you to avoid turning on your pain avoidance mechanism, because that's why people end up fearing talking to women, because they overthink it. They be like, say, it's like they have this sniper mentality, like, say, I have one bullet, one shot. If I go there and she rejects me, it's the end of the world. But if you understand,
I'm fun. I know how hard it is to come back from rejection. You know,
is it hard though?
Yeah, but then when you grow up, you come to
realize that nothing happens when you get rejected. Because the one thing that I always tell myself is that there's always better. Like even when I'm in a relationship, I always tell myself there's always better. Not that I want to replace my girl or treat her in a horrible way, but I always tell myself there's always someone better. Why? This mentality helps you to avoid tolerating nonsense in a relationship. Let's say a woman starts disrespecting you, I won't tell myself like, this is my soulmate, this is the one and only girl in the world that I'll ever pair bond with or get married to. So I'm just gonna begazelle, tolerate all this nonsense. Yeah. Nah, bro.
Nah, you shouldn't.
If I know there's always better, I'll tell her, like, say, it's either you do this. As if you're not cool with that, then it's try. I'll find someone better than you.
Exactly. It's like chasing. I can't, man. I don't understand the chasing concept. I don't understand it, my nigga. Like, if you want me to chase you and you're not doing the same thing, I'm gonna give you the energy that you're giving me, you know.
But it depends, though. I feel like chasing, I kind of disagree with you. The one thing that I hate, is like this thing of like hard to get or playing hard to get. That's the one thing that I'm against.
There's no such thing as hard to get.
Yeah.
You know? As gents, we say that line because we want to comfort ourselves. We are ignorant.
We are rationalizing our way the rejection. Even though you see this girl is not interested. Bro.
I mean, if it's someone likes you, she will make it easier for you to say, hey, nigga, you know. Not say, she will tell you, but okay, it's too early. Can you please get to know each other? She's not playing hard to get. You know she's not playing hard to get.
Yeah.
You know. But if she's saying, car, you know that.
Oftentimes, women are not brave enough to speak the way men speak. I would say women are different than us, right? You need to understand that women oftentimes communicate differently. Yeah. What I mean by this is that oftentimes we are straightforward. If I don't want something, I'll tell you, bruh, I don't want this. It's a no or it's a yes. Women usually speak covertly. They go around the corners, right? And they expect you to figure it out. Let's say a woman doesn't want you. It's rare for a woman to tell you straight up, like, say, I don't want you. And to tell you a reason, I don't want you because, let's say, you're ugly or you whatever. She'll just, let's say, stop texting you, hoping that you will see that she's not interested. She will start blue ticking you, hoping that you will see that she's not interested. That's her way of saying no. And if she sees it, like, say, even though she's doing those things and you're still persisting, that's when she friend zones you. A friend zone is a rejection, right? It's a rejection. And most people don't understand that. That's when she tells you, like, say, I think you're a nice guy, you're good, you look good, you have money, I love that, but can we just be friends? It's a rejection, right? She's afraid of telling you straight up, like, say, I don't want you. Or because women like live and thrive with attention, right? She doesn't want you in the way that because at the end of the day, bro, like, men want the one thing. Like, we all want this one motivating thing that takes you to go to a girl to talk to her. There's one. Without that one thing, you wouldn't date, bro. Sex.
I must die.
Okay, right now you're laughing at me. Let's say you start dating right now, and your girl tells you that can you wait for me? I don't want us to have sex until, let's say, after 20 years.
20 years, come on.
You said it's not about sex, bro.
No, but then let's keep it reasonable. You can't say 20 years.
Reasonable for what? I agree, it's not about sex, it's about what? It's about the relationship, it's about bonding, it's about what?
Hey, it's about getting to know each other, building fun. Sex is a bonus.
There are two equations. There's the female equation, there's what women want, there's what men want. We men want relationship. Not relationships, sorry, you want sex and women want relationships. So when you get into a relationship, you basically combine these two. We have it balanced. We get sex, they get relationships, they get attention, they get whatever it is that they thrive on or live by, right?
Yeah.
The moment one of us gets one thing instead of the other, we're not content.
Exactly.
Why is it that you guys complain when a girl friend zones you? That's a relationship. You guys talk, you guys take pictures, you guys do whatever. I don't know, I've never been friends with a girl. That's a relationship. There's no sex there.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be happy as the man?
I do have female friends. You know.
You're not sexually attracted to them?
No.
How long have you been friends with them?
Mostly 5 years, 5+ years. Yeah.
How did you get to become friends? Like, what inspired you to become friends? How did it happen? Did you go to her and say, let's just become friends?
Funny thing, I don't remember how it started. It just happened spontaneously. And it wasn't a matter of like me approaching her or anything.
How did you get each other's numbers? That's my question. Like, what motivated you to go to her, like, say, when you saw her, did you see her, like, say,
no,
this girl would make a perfect friend, or nah, she thought the same thing? What happened?
Now, she was my friend's friend, like mutual friend, like, and then a gent friend introduced me to her, and then we became more closer with her than with the guy.
Interesting.
Yeah. It wasn't a matter of like, I like you, and she's like, nah, you're good as a friend. No. It wasn't like that.
I see it because the reason why I don't have female friends is because when I understand this dynamic, at least that's how I interpret. I could be wrong, but it works in my favor to look at things from this angle, to look at things from this situation, because I understand that there are things that women want and there are things that men want. The moment one partner gets what they want without actually giving the other, problems can arise. For example, let's say there have been times, I don't like to say this on my YouTube videos or anywhere public, but there have been times whereby, let's say, you see this all the time. When you meet a girl for the first time, right? Let's say you meet and the next day, after 3 days, and then you guys actually have sex, right? Without actually telling each other, I love you, without going on 10 dates or whatever people do. Like, after having sex, if the sex was good, or if the girl thinks that you would make a great partner, the thing that she says after that, she'll also tell you that, I love you, I want us to have a relationship. It happens almost all the time.
Yeah.
Unless we agree beforehand, like say, there's no, we don't want anything of this sort. Other than that, they always want relationships, right? Because there's like a balance, right? When you meet someone, you want sex, they want the relationship. So normally, under normal conditions, what would happen is that if you as the gender want the relationship, or like you start with a girl, get to know her, go on multiple days, you become familiar with one another, and become like the relationship becomes the I don't know, the next obvious thing that's gonna happen. Like, you don't even think about it. It's like it's just normal. It's like the normal way of going things. But if you start like at the end, then that's a problem. Because Tina, I feel like we wouldn't invest a lot of effort if you know that sex wouldn't happen. Would you spend your money going on dates, spend your time texting for 7 hours, talking on the phone for 7 hours every day, if you know that you're not gonna smash?
Nah.
So what do you say? Is it about sex?
Think of it now.
You wouldn't, bruh.
You wouldn't.
Right? I mean, you do want the other things, but I feel like sex for a man takes the number one priority. It's like the number one priority. There are other things that we want. Because if you get, let's say, you just get sex and the girl's not fun to be around with, after smashing, you have nothing to talk about. Like, you'll be like, I don't even want this sex. Because it's boring, right? Because you might as well go get a prostitute. But if you get all the other things, then it's a benefit, right? That's why in the early stages. But let's not spend time talking about this. So, what else can I ask? Let's see.
Why do you think we are a set generation?
A set generation?
Yeah.
That's an interesting question. I would like to dissociate myself, remove myself from that term. But without doing so, let me just associate myself so that I can answer your question. What I would say is that we are a set generation because we have forgotten our Creator, we have forgotten God.
True.
And we have made other things our idols, our gods. Like right now, because of the internet, because of social media, we are connected to the rest of the world. We see what they are prioritizing, what they are doing, etc., etc. Right now, people glorify artists. They worship artists more than they do Jesus or God. So that's a problem. So there's nothing that humans can never do what God can do. And there's no money, people are praising, people are worshiping the things that God created instead of worshiping the Creator. I don't know how I can put this, like, you being my father, right? And you buy me a laptop. It's like me loving that laptop the way that I should love you. How would you feel? Like, you are my father, you expect love, you expect affection, you expect that to have a relationship. Yes. And when I tell you, I don't want to have a relationship with you. Instead of having a relationship with you, I'll have a relationship with that and I'll call that my father. Or I'll treat that thing, that object, the way that I should be treating you.
Yeah, right.
It's like I'm neglecting you. So, obviously, if I do that, there's only like, there's nothing good that can come from material possessions, bro. We are spiritual people, or we are spiritual beings. We were designed to worship. By default, every human has to worship something. There's no human that doesn't worship anything, right? It's either you're going to worship your flags, you're going to worship your vaccines, or worship all the crazy things, but at the end of the day, you're going to worship something. even the music that you listen to, because there's power in words and people forget this or people avoid this. The music that you listen to affects how you feel, how you think, because lyrics are basically like books. Books are powerful because books have, each sentence is basically an idea, or every word is basically an idea. So you're basically sharing ideas. So likewise, that's why they say there's this famous saying that you're the average of the people you spend your time with. Why? Because when you spend time with people, you're basically sharing ideas, right? Even though those ideas might be bad, you're still gonna receive them or you're gonna treat them because you trust those people. Like you trust your friends. Like even if your friend tells you something that is nonsensical, you're not gonna filter it the same way as if a stranger told you something. For example, let's say a stranger tells you money is bad. You're gonna think about it. Is money bad as well? But if your friend tells you money is bad, you're not gonna go put it under the same filter that you're gonna put when a stranger tells you something like that. So the same applies to the music that you listen to, the artists. If you've been listening to an artist for a long period of time, you trust their music. And oftentimes, if they say sex is good or drugs are good, or like early on, you're not gonna take it seriously. But if you listen to that song, let's say once each and every day for a year, that's like 300 times of someone saying sex is good, drugs are good. You're gonna end up believing it. So that's one of the reasons why we are sad. One reason is that we have forgotten our Creator. The second reason is that we are ignorant. We're not careful as to like what we put into our minds and what we put into our hearts. So the more, if you can fix these two things, then everything can change. Not even these two things, that one thing. Let's start with the Creator. If you can prioritize the Creator, you can prioritize God. Because all good things, bro, come from Him. You can have all the money in the world. You can have all the girls in the world. You can have all the things that you think you need to become happy. You'll never be happy without God. That's just it. If you can prioritize God, you can be the poorest of people. You can have nothing and still be able to experience peace, be able to experience joy. There are people that have billions, bruh, but they wake up every day with stress. There are people who have billions that can't sleep because they're continuously worrying. Like, say, what if I lose my billions? What if I lose my money? But there are people who have nothing, who don't have something. They go to bed with nothing to eat, but when they wake up with peace. They wake up with joy. So that's my answer. What do you think we are as a generation?
I think we have, some of us, we have childhood wounds, our youth days wounds. And then we covered those wounds
with things.
With things, by job, by getting another child, by getting another girlfriend. We don't really give our time. We don't let God to blow air on that wound so that the wound can heal. Take us back to that we've forgotten our Creator. Sometimes and one thing that really exposed us, it was COVID. Because if you think about it, 2019 life was nice. Then after COVID, that's where we were exposed. Okay, we're now chilling. We're not working. We're not doing anything. Your partner, you can see your partner's true colors. So look, I won't date someone who doesn't work. You just lost your job. You maybe lost a child. Now you always, you're not doing what you used to distract yourself with. You're now chilling. You're thinking, and the wound get infection. And then we start to be sad again. Meanwhile we could have just like told God to blow wind air on our wound
so that we can hear.
Because there's no other way. A wound cannot heal without air, bruh. And not just any air, but the Holy Spirit. You get what I'm saying? So
I feel like you're speaking facts. People are sad because they're distracted.
Cool.
And then it's when the people become aware of the things that go on into their mind that they realize that, like, say. And people are lazy to do. People have the energy to do many external things, and they don't have the energy to improve themselves or to improve their minds or to actually to be aware of. So, what is it that I'm thinking about every day? Because I'm reading this other book called As a Man Thinker by James Allen, and it speaks about the power of thoughts, that we become what we think about oftentimes. So our character is molded by our everyday thoughts. So if you're thinking along the same lines, in order to become great or to become whatever, you need to think at that level. So every thought that you think, bruh, like multiplies. If you're thinking about good thoughts every day, then you're gonna get good things, because there's the law of like, when you sow, you basically get a harvest of what you sowed.
Yeah.
So when you sow a small seed, right? You put a small seed into the ground, but what is gonna come out at the end of the day, or when you're about to harvest, you're gonna have fruits. Yeah. And each fruit is gonna have many of those seeds. See, everything that you put into your mind is like a garden. Whatever thought you put into here is gonna produce a lot of fruits that are gonna have many seeds, many of what you planted, right? So people are not careful to be aware of what they're thinking about. Yeah. Why? Because they're always on their phones. They're always on social media. They're always working. If you're not working, then you're on your phone. You're always distracted. If you're not on your phone, then you're drinking. Like, there's never a time for people to actually sit down and ask themselves, like, say, who am I?
Exactly. Very good question.
Who am I? Like, it's a simple question, but if you ask yourself this question 10 times a day, you realize that all the answers that you're going to give to yourself are not going to be satisfactory. Because if I go out right now and meet someone and ask them, who are you? They're going to tell me, I'm Romeo Jake, I'm born here, but you're not all those things. Yeah. You're not your material possessions. Yeah. You're not your name. Mm-mm. You're not where you come from. You're not all those things, but you are your soul. And your soul has always been there. You're not even your body. Yeah. Because people oftentimes associate themselves with their body. I like to, the same way, think of like yourself. Like if you were to jump into a car, you're not your car. Yeah. There's the car and then there's you inside. Yeah. Right? Likewise, this body of ours is like a vehicle. Yeah. And then there's the soul. Yeah. Right? Because you're not even your age. Someone will tell you, I'm 21. Nah. You were still there when you were 12. And you were still there when you were 1. Yeah. Right? The soul was still there. Right? When you looked into the mirror, you were aware. Like say, I have a mustache now. And when you're 90, you're still going to be aware, I have white hair. You're still going to be there. So your soul is what's important. Right? You are your soul. You are the thing that is aware of what? Your thoughts. You're not even the voice that is inside your head. People will think that the voice that's made, that's not you. Mm-hmm. It's like your heart. Right? Your heart has a function. It pumps blood to your veins. It has a function. Mm-hmm. But you're not your heart. Your brain, you're not your brain. Your brain has a function. So that voice is like a function. It's like one of your functions, right? The moment you understand that you're not the voice that is always speaking, then you sit back and you become aware. And I saw this video speaking about awareness. At the moment you come to a point where you realize that you are a soul, then your brain starts to work together with the subconscious mind. The ideas start to flow because you realize, nah, bro, I'm not anything. That's complex. That's for another day. I'll make a video about it. But that's one of the things. Like sometimes when people right now ask me who I am, I have to think deeply. Do I give them the simple answer? Yeah. Do I give them the traditional answer of like, I am Romeo, I'm from here, I work here, I studied here, I'm not all those things. No. Because even if I lost all those things, I'll still be here. Even if my body dies, I'll still be here. But where my soul goes will be determined by what? How I live my life right now. Yeah. Because something that I was speaking to my friend, I know I'm speaking for a long time, but something that's important, I made a post recently because I saw that most of the people, speaking about music, I'm not a big fan of hip hop anymore. I'm not a big fan of R&B because R&B and hip hop are a tool for the devil to do his work. Okay. If you think about it.
How about Momo?
How
about Kelvin?
I like Private School Mapiano. Why? Because most of the songs there are without lyrics. Yeah. They are beats. There's no lyrics. And even when there are lyrics, like the content of the music, the content of the lyrics, the message, what does the lyrics say? Because that's where the issue is at. What is your favorite rapper saying? Right? That's the issue. If he's continuously rapping about ass, rapping about drugs, rapping about weed, smoking, all those things are going to influence how you live your life. Yeah. Kids who are going to listen to those things are going to aspire to be like that guy. Yeah. Because it's basically you telling your story already. I am rich, I'm prioritizing ass and wada. Someone who's like in grade 8 is going to think like, say, nah, I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to be an engineer. I want to be like this guy. I want to get ass, I want to get drugs, I want to get hands.
And it's becoming a norm right now. No one wants to go to school. Fine.
How many people are smoking drugs? A lot. Because of what? The music. And not many people can point to the music like say, right? The music it sounds good.
Yeah.
I can't deny that the beats are good, but what is the message? If the message is nice, then I can listen to the song. It's the same thing that I was telling you.
Yeah.
Because like me right now, let's forget music. It's like me right now telling you what? Telling you the sun is blue. Right now, if I tell you the sun is blue, you're going to say I'm crazy. But if I tell you the sun is blue 300 times, it's going to come upon you by you think, maybe he's right. Right? Because I'm persistent. I keep saying this. The sun is blue, the sun is blue, the sun is blue. I play a melody. The sun is blue. You play that song 10 times a day, 365 days a year.
Yeah.
You're going to end up believing or entertaining the idea that the sun is blue. Likewise, if someone says a lie in a song, you repeat that song, you're going to end up believing what they're saying, regardless of what they're saying is true or not.
Yeah.
So be careful who you follow, because I was telling my friends yesterday that you become like the people you idolize or the people that you look up to. So if you look up to people that are living horrible lives, people that are not saved or whatever, you're going to become like them. So be careful with that. Like, look up to people who are prioritizing the right things in life, and it starts with God. So if they don't have God, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel sorry for people who haven't found God. I feel sorry for them, and there's nothing that you can do with that.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes people, it says, there's somewhere in the Bible where God says, my people perish for a lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
People are ignorant. People do not know what they don't know.
Yeah.
So sometimes, although you might feel sorry, that person doesn't know that they need God, right? There hasn't been someone who told them. I feel like everyone, okay, let me rephrase, let me get back. Everyone in their heart knows about God. There's no human that doesn't know about God, right? People might rationalize God away and prioritize their ancestors, kill bulls, go wherever. Everyone in their hearts knows about God, but there also needs to be that people, like your God's disciples, who represent God in a good way. To those people, to tell them that, like, say, you actually need God, you actually need to pray to God, you need to worship God, you need to be thankful to God that you have what you want, what you have. Because all the good things that we have come from here in the day.
Yeah.
The food, the bed, the things that we take for granted. Your mom, your sister still being alive. There are people who have nothing,
waking up in the morning.
Bro, there are people who have nothing. There are people who wake up in cities, bro, like, bro, they don't even have water to bath. And when you're complaining, crying about life, you're thinking about killing yourself, and you have all those things.
That's the thing, you know why? Because we ask too much from God, and then when He delivers, we even forget to go and thank Him. Because we forget that we are living in that moment we asked for. When
you receive, you ask for more things.
Exactly.
Now you are praying for a car. God, please give me a car. And God delivers. Now, when He delivers, I'm not even thankful about the car that you gave me. Now I'm praying for a job. God, give me a job. So being thankful, bro, it's a big one.
Yeah.
Before you pray, I would say gratitude is the password to God's presence.
Yeah.
It's easy to come with to be entitled to God, to think that God owes you. I mean, God will give you all the good things, but He doesn't owe you anything.
No, He doesn't.
And it's like in the same way that if you are to be grateful to me, let's say there are two of you. Let's say this one other person right here. I have a lot of money. If I give you money and you don't say thank you, you go and spend it, and I give this person money and they say thank you to me, I'm more likely to give this person money the next time.
Exactly.
So I'd say, I don't know if that's how God operates, because I'm not God, I don't understand God, but I feel like it will make sense that you operate that way, that you would love to give those who are grateful. You love to give things to those who are grateful.
It's like you're trusted with smaller things.
Yeah.
You say thank you because I woke up. That's small
Yeah.
to Him.
Yeah.
But to you, it's very something that you need to go and say thank you for waking me up, for protecting me throughout the night.
Yeah.
So even when you ask for a job or anything, it's like, okay, this one is being grateful. But I'm not saying it works like that, because we don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
But honestly, it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
In the same way, I'm only human, so I'm only a mere mortal. But in the same way that I'll prioritize the people that are grateful over the ones that I'll still provide for their basic needs. I'll still make sure that you have the things that you need to survive. But in order to live a blessed life, then I feel like, to reach that next level will be important. So what would you say are the things that young people or anyone in general should prioritize in order to become successful, however you choose to define successful? successful in any area of life. It's successful across their finances, their health, their spirituality, all the important things. How would you say they need to do? How would you advise them to go about that?
They have to be disciplined. Discipline, like when you are disciplined, we can differentiate between you and I, because we have discipline. Maybe you have discipline, I don't have discipline. People can differentiate and see the difference between you and I. Consistency.
Yeah,
those are two things, important things, if you want to go further.
How do you build discipline?
Yeah. You just gotta you gotta okay, how I built my discipline. I stopped doing the things that everyone is doing it. Stop doing what the majority are doing, because the majority are not successful. You can't do what the losing people are doing. So and then, that's one way. And that's for me. For now, that's what I do. I know if people are saying let's go there, and I don't feel like going there, I'm not going there. And I put my mind on it. I'm not doing it. If I'm not doing it, I'm not doing it. Like right now, I deactivated all my social media. I did that, and if I wasn't disciplined, I was gonna go back and say, "Hey, I'm feeling bored." You know how boring it is.
Without your socials.
You have to put your mind on it and believe in it, and just.
I feel like discipline. As you're saying, I feel like everything you're saying is right, man. It's like the ability to stick to your word. To stick with what you decide.
Exactly.
Even though it might be difficult. And also understanding that you can't do everything. Just because, there are many possibilities of how your life can turn out. And just because it can become anything doesn't mean that you need to become anything.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean that you need to prioritize everything. Just because right now you just say you can become a doctor, you can become an engineer, you can become a plumber, it doesn't mean that right now you need to sit with 3 books. How to become a doctor, books on medicine, say do the engineering books, so do the plumber's book. Your mind's gonna be filled to the brain with like knowledge. And most of that knowledge, let's say you end up becoming a doctor. Knowledge of engineering is going to be useless to you. Knowledge of plumbing is going to be useless to you. So discipline is all about deciding, realizing, like say, although I have the capability, I have the ability, I have the mind to become all the things that I can be, these are the things that I'm interested in becoming. And then if anything doesn't lead you to that thing, you disregard it. Let's say right now you say, I want to become a millionaire. All the things that are going to disturb you from reaching your goal, you disregard them. Let's say it's addictions, weed addiction. If you realize that, like, say, if I smoke weed, my health is gonna decline. Therefore, I won't be able to enjoy the money that I want. I say I want to become a millionaire. So when I'm 60, when I'm 70, I won't be able to enjoy my millions. So maybe smoking is not a good thing. It's gonna take discipline for you to cut smoking out, to decide I don't want to smoke anymore, and to stick by what you decide. That's also discipline. So I feel like discipline, consistency. Discipline is the first equation, deciding and sticking to it. Consistency is like doing that every day. Because every day start from square one. It's not like you decide today I'm not going to smoke weed and tomorrow that decision from yesterday is going to carry. No. Today is to start from square one. You tell yourself again, I'm not going to smoke weed. There's the reason. And tomorrow you repeat. And it's good. If you repeat this for like 18 months, it is said that it takes 18 months to build a habit. If you do something consistently for 18 months, then you no longer have to decide each and every day. The same way someone will tell you, this is difficult, they start going to the gym, this is difficult. Right now you wash your teeth each and every day. That was a habit that was built in you. There was a time when your mom, when you're still young, was telling you, go brush your teeth, go brush your teeth. But you cross the threshold where now you do it automatically. And even now you brush your teeth the same way. Do you know that? You start with the same side, you spend roughly the same amount of time brushing your teeth. When you tie your shoelaces, you start with the same shoe. And you do it pretty much the same way that you do, or roughly the same way that you do every day. You've been doing it so long that you don't even think about it. When you drive, you pretty much drive in similar ways. You sit in similar positions. So everything is difficult at the get-go. Now I'm speaking about habits, but we're speaking about consistency and discipline, because those two tie into like habits, right? Let's say, I told you that when you're disciplined, you need to decide where you want to go. So let's say right now you say you want to become a doctor, right? You need to do things that are leading you in that direction. So it's going to take what? Discipline and consistency. Those two things, those are the two keys to success. So every day you'd have to decide that I want to read a book. I need to read anatomy or attend class or do this if you're in uni. So it's gonna be difficult when you're still starting. That's why I'm making this point. It's gonna be difficult because why? It's new. But if you cross that threshold of like 18 months, if you do that thing for like 2 years, it comes to a point whereby you're used to it. Although you might complain to your parents, like say, studying is difficult, hey, course is chowing, hey. You're gonna find it easy to like carry on because you've crossed that threshold. But people usually avoid doing hard things. Learning a new language is difficult. You even worry because right now I've come to a point whereby I read my Bible in a new language because right now I'm from SA, right, in South Africa. So you have many languages. Right now I feel like I'm not so fluent with English. My English is good enough, or it's decent compared to the majority of people. But the issue that I have is that why is it that I prioritize English, knowing English, the language that is from outside our country, whereas I'm not fluent with any of the languages that are in here. I'm not even fluent with my home language. There are some terms that I don't know. Like I substitute them with English words. Like if you ask me, I'll sit and think about another language that is similar to mine. Like, why is it that I don't prioritize knowing isiZulu? Like sit down, isiZulu, before I can worry about learning other foreign languages, learning like French or learning Spanish or whatever. Like before I can test myself with that, I'm doing this, and it has been difficult. But I see myself making progress. Right now I can read isiZulu, and sometimes I read the words like what. And I read it again, like, oh, it's out. Like, those kind of things. When it's difficult, even when you're still a kid, learning a language is difficult. But we forgive kids. A kid can make a mistake 100 times. You'll never stop and tell a kid that that's a mistake. But right now, because we are all grown up, we are even afraid of making mistakes because you worry someone's going to tell you, nah, you're pronouncing it wrong. Although you said it the right way, now you're worried about pronunciation. Like, come on, bro. But otherwise, do you have any more questions for me?
Nah.
So we can end it, Otherwise, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in and watching up until the end. We'll be making more podcasts as time goes by, and would love for you to tune in and to watch our videos. Subscribe, comment down below. Have yourself a beautiful day. Cheers.